All right, I think I've got it shared everywhere. I'm so excited. It is the first Monday of July. Can you believe it? I mean, truthfully, where has the summer gone? We call it at our house the Coronacation. And needless to say, Coronacation has me comforted at home. I mean, I'm enjoying it. It makes me kind of anxious for the retirement years, if I'm being honest, to where I can do what I've done and craft and create most days. So I want to share a couple of things with you this morning, and then we're going to dive in. And we have 2 projects today for Makers Monday, and they are a coffee and a Christmas theme. So July 1st, demonstrators and happy shoppers were able to order from the brand new catalog. Now, all I have is this pretty piece of paper that has the cover on it. Mine hasn't made it here yet, but when you're a demonstrator, you get to see the PDF early, and we got to see that, oh gosh, I want to say around June 24th. And I started deciding what things I had to have and what things I could live without. And so today I want to show you some of the things that I got, and then we're going to create. So this is kind of a little bit of a Makers Monday unboxing. So the PDF is linked in the description already. I managed to get that up beforehand rather than having to go back later, because you never know when that's going to get up there if I have to come back later. And you will see the 2 projects that we're doing there. It gives you all the measurements, and then you can always come back to the video at the end and see how we put it together. So when I saw this set in the new catalog, this is called Warm Hugs, and this will be available at the beginning of August to anyone who's not already a happy shopper or demonstrator. It is the most adorable suite that has to do with coffee and hot chocolate and those kind of gifts without being over the top. I really love these little medallions, and what makes me super happy about those medallions are the dies that go with this set. So the dies are these. The 2 long, funny, bent rectangles actually make a wrapper that go around your coffee cup, and we will be doing some things with that a little bit later. I wanted to get a little bit closer to the catalog and do some things with this, but I'm super, super excited. There are mini coffee cups, 8-ounce coffee cups that are crafter friendly that are in our catalog, and I'm super excited about those. I did not have those not overnighted. I didn't overnight this order. I did expedite this order, and I didn't expedite everything. So I do have another order coming, and those are in the second order. But these little circles that I was showing you can be cut one of 2 ways, and these are the dies that cut the circles. This die will cut, and it will put a little stitched edge. This die, it does not cut out these arms. The arms are just holding the center die in place, so it actually makes this a wheel. And what I got so excited about was the ability to take like Warm Hugs to You all season long and cut that out so it looks like a washer. So there's a hole in the center, and then there's the edge, and so you could tie ribbon through it or hang it from This One's on Me, Merry Christmas. How cute would that be, just dangling from like a hot chocolate package? But you can also take these little mini icons and place them in the center. And so they are created to be 2-step stamping, some of them, that would allow you to stamp one in one color and one in a second color. So for example, you could stamp the edge in black and come back with real red on the inside. Super cute, right? Okay, and I loved this. I Like You a Latte, Eat, Drink, and Be Cozy, Happy Christmas, So Very Merry. But this is the one that got me right here. You're the marshmallows to my cocoa. Alrighty, so there are the dies and the stamp set, and we're going to be playing with that. But when I first saw this in the catalog, I was like, oh, you know what this would work with? And I got real excited. Put those dies back up so I don't lose them. This works beautifully with Nothing's Better Than. Look at how adorable that little retro coffee cup is and how well it goes. So today we're going to be using the coffee cup out of Nothing's Better, and we're going to be pairing it with Warm Hugs. So if you already own Nothing's Better and you're thinking, oh, I can't wait to have some fun Christmassy things that I can work with to make gifts, you're going to really want to have both of these sets. All right. Now, let me show you the paper that goes with these because it is fantastic. So, this is the paper that we used for today. And then this is the back side. So, can't you see that as a coffee wrapper around a coffee cup? Maybe with a little bit of real red scalloped along the edge. It's Monday morning. My voice isn't quite there yet. I haven't finished my first bottle of water either. So we're running a little behind. That happens on Monday, right? Especially after a holiday weekend. So here's this one. I thought this was beautiful. And then look at the back. Just a really pretty red stripe. And we have this pretty print. Kind of reminds me of a coffee house. And a gingham. I am a sucker for a good gingham. I don't know about you. And there are two in this set. One is solid green, which is this one. And this is Mossy Meadow, if you're familiar with our colors. And then we have this red dot. And a stripe. And then we have a green dot. This is Mossy Meadow. And the little bitty dots are Pear Pizzazz. And there's the other gingham. Isn't that really pretty? The red in this is real red. So it's the truer red in my opinion. Poppy Pearl. Oh no, it said I disappeared. Okay. Oh, I hope I'm back. All right, if you'll let me know if I'm back. Oh, and I hope you didn't miss anything. Huh. Okay, well, I've never had that happen, so that's a first. So we'll see what that was about. So here's kind of a houndstooth and then a stripe. So this paper is really, really gorgeous, but it is a Christmas paper. Some of them, I think, lend themselves outside of the Christmas world, but it really, really is. Like this one, to me, not screaming Christmas, but yes, Christmas. The same with this. And if you didn't have it paired with green, say you had it paired with Night of Navy, then it would be more red, white, and blue, USA. Oh, but these are gorgeous. Okay, let me slide the paper out of the way. Also in this suite, there are some goodies. Some really, really pretty things that go along with it. So we have some of the mini embossing folders. So remember, in August, we get the new die cut machine. I'm so excited. Literally cannot wait. So to get the die cut machine in August, you do have to be a happy shopper or a demonstrator. So I'm more than happy to talk to you a little bit about that. You do get a discount as a happy shopper. It's the same discount that you would get as a demonstrator. I would love to have you join my family of glitter hogs. Live in Arkansas, Razorback fan. You just knew that my team was going to have to do with either pink or glitter and the hogs. So there you have it. My team is the glitter hogs, and I would love to have you be part of the glitter hog family. I'm getting sidetracked because I love talking about our community of people. So there are two different patterns in these, and the one that we're going to use today is this dot pattern. But there's also this basket weave pattern, or at least I'm calling it a basket weave. All right. So these would fit the mini die cut machine, and that one we don't have a release date for yet. But my understanding is that it's only a hair wider than these dies. So those are coming. So that's another goodie that's in this suite. And then, oh, here they go. There are two ribbons in this suite. One is Mossy Meadow. It's a green and white. There you go. Can you see it? I don't know why my lighting's off a little bit today. I haven't opened this one yet. This one we're going to work with today. This is the Real Red Braided Trim. Ugh. So pretty. It reminds me of the natural braided trim that's in the annual catalog. All right, so I want to set that back because I don't want to lose it. You guys know I have a tendency to lose things, especially if I don't put it back where I think it's going to be. All right, now these. Oh, these are so cute. These are little star ornaments. Aren't those pretty? So they're glittery and fabulous, and they go along with this suite. Alrighty. So that's a little sneak peek of some of the Christmas that's coming. Again, that's available now if you are a happy shopper or if you're a demonstrator. If you are not, it'll be August. But August will be here quick enough with the way that the last few months have flown by. All right, in the spirit of sharing what's in the catalog, I wanted to show you 2 cards that I made that will go along with my unboxing of There's a Snowflake Set, which I'm so excited about. And these are 2 of the cards that I made. So the Snowflake Set has all of these beautiful blues and purples in it. This one is based off of one of the in colors called Misty Moonlight, and our in colors, you know, stick around for 2 years and then they rotate out. So we had 5 new in colors this year, and this is one of them, and I just love it. And then there's this ribbon that's in this suite that's beautiful. It's iridescent, and I've die cut out of the Balmy Blue glimmer paper. Y'all, I have been looking for glitter for days. Okay, so you know how it goes with glitter. It's like you put glitter on and 5 weeks later you find it everywhere. This does not come off. I mean, there's no glitter. I am beyond excited about our new glitter paper. And I think it's actually called glimmer paper, but I'd have to go find the digital catalog to tell you. So I did some in vellum and some in the Balmy Blue glitter paper. Oh, so pretty. All right, this is the piece de resistance. Sorry, I don't speak French very well. I don't speak English very well on some days either. So this one is Balmy Blue for the base, and then it's using the different papers that are in the Snowflake suite. And then I've die cut some of the die cuts in vellum, some of them in the glimmer paper. I put some of the embellishments in the center so you could see it. This ribbon is actually out of the Halloween suite, but it just, to me, said ice and crackle and snow. So it got put into this card as well. Alrighty, I bet you are ready to craft, and so am I. Oh, one last thing before I forget. Last week, I joined a design team, and I'm so excited. It's called The Spot, and if you use the links that are down below and head over to my blog, you'll see this card and a link to The Spot. So the way The Spot works is it's a challenge group, and so each week we give some new challenge. Last week's was this sketch, or a sketch that this card is based off of. And we put the challenge out there. By Saturday, you link your sketch or your creation to the Spot's blog post, not to my personal one, and that's all on my blog where you get to The Spot. And so you link your creation, and then the design team votes and we pick a winner. And so this was last week's sketch, and I wanted to make sure that I showed you so you could see it up close and personal. I colored this little sloth last week. I don't know if you remember, but Monday and Tuesday was just meh. It was rainy and overcast and meh. And I just kind of felt like him, just sigh. So that's what I created. And of course, on the inside, we don't have any streakers. No streaking allowed. Don't decorate the inside of every card. Some of them get to streak. We're just going to leave a little bit on the edge. So this is all linked up on the blog, and you can see it there. So tomorrow we will be releasing a challenge, and I can't wait for you to see it. I've been working on my pieces, and I am very excited about them. I love being on the team. There's some really fantastic Stampin' Up! Demonstrators who are there. In the challenges, you do not have to use Stampin' Up! Products. You can use what you have. So if you don't own a lot of Stampin' Up!, but you see a challenge that you just absolutely want to be part of, please, by all means, come join us. Come play with us. We love to have stamping friends. And the challenges aren't all just sketches. There are color challenges and theme challenges and technique challenges. It's a really, really cool group of people that put together some really neat ideas. I get inspired by them. Truthfully, it keeps my creativity up. All right, now we're going to dive into our cards. And I'm hoping that today I'm more organized. I did do some work off camera to try to speed things up because I don't want these to be an hour long. I'm really shooting for 30 minutes and I'm a talker, and oh, holy heck. 30 minutes makes me feel like I am on super speed, warp speed. So here's what I did. I took the outline stamp and I stamped it in early espresso, and I just went across my page. And they aren't even. I mean, they're kind of even. Fortunately, this one has a line at the bottom of the cup, you know, where the saucer would be. So I kind of used that to line up. That said, it is not perfect, and there are some that are kind of out of whack, and that's okay. This really does remind me and gives me kind of that 1950s, 60s retro feel of kind of that monoprint style. And so even the cups are all just a hair off, and I'm quite okay with that. Now, this is a Photopolymer Stamp Set, and if I can find it quickly, we will be using my pad. Okay, so last night when I packed away, I'm not real sure where I put it. So, you know what? We won't be using my pad. That is very interesting. Oh, there it is. I was going to say, I don't know where it went. It should be right here. All right, so when you stamp, you need an image, you need ink, and you need paper. There's one thing that you do have to add if your stamps are the clear photopolymer, and that is some kind of sponge. That's what gives you your crisp, clear image. Yes, a good quality stamp does, but having it with the foam really, really is what makes the image the best, which is why you see in wooden stamps and in red rubber stamps that are unmounted, you'll see that foam. So photopolymer actually gives you an advantage, and it really is my favorite. I have almost gotten to the point where I'll get a stamp set and be like, oh, it's not photopolymer, man. And it's okay. I mean, I will survive, but I really like the ability to see through my stamps. And so what I think I have figured out with Stampin' Up! Is if it's something that is a two-step stamp, then it will be photopolymer. If there's some kind of lining up that you need to do, it will be photopolymer. And there may be other cases too. But we're just going to go with that and say that I cracked the code. All right, so we're going to start with Real Red. And I'm going to take, this is the filler, and I'm just going to stamp across. Now, I'm going to try to keep my head out of the camera, but it really is kind of important to look down through your stamps. So one thing that I noticed, ooh, I almost hit that one dead on, is when I look through my stamp, can you see, I might be able to do it this way. Do you see this line right here at the bottom of the cup? Okay, that's where the saucer goes. And so when I'm looking down through my line, through that opening, I'm looking for my early espresso line to be there. That one's not quite perfect, but it's, and I will say that I don't always take the time to make sure that it's right there. Now, after stamping about 5 million of these, I'm getting pretty good at lining them up. All right, so I know that my color scheme, I want to have the Real Red, Pear Pizzazz, Mossy Meadow. So this line is going to be Real Red. Rather than putting up Real Red and getting out the others and stamping that and coming back to it, I'm going to take Real Red and I'm going to keep going. And the further up this paper I go, the more chance of my head being in the camera there will be. It just is what it is. And you'll be able to see all of the roots and the grayness and the wonderfulness that would be the fact that I've yet to go see a hairstylist. Now, of course, I immediately ran and got my nails done. And even those are chipping, and you can tell it's been a while since I've been there. But I figure you're seeing my hands and not my hair. Now, before we go back anywhere in real life, where I really need to, ooh, that didn't do well at all. Where I need to be a little more presentable, I will get rid of the roots. They're about 2.5, maybe 3 inches now of dark and gray instead of the pretty light. All right, so we're going to take out our simple chamois, clean our stamp, make sure it's squeaky clean, and then our next color is Pear Pizzazz. I'm going to do a couple of things while I have Pear Pizzazz out. I am going to fill in my lines, and then I'm also going to add this wreath piece around the I Like You a Latte. So this is Pear Pizzazz, and it's the lighter green. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're just going through and lining it up. You can tell that since I'm not taking as much time as I did a minute ago with the red, they're kind of all over the place. And I'm not going to lie, it doesn't bother me. Kind of adds to that feel of that mono print. I know, it's really kind of fun. Alright, so before I put the ink pad away, I'm going to pull in, this is the die cut that goes with the wreath. And so I'm going to ink up my wreath. And I'm going to line up the edges with the edge of the die. And there it is. Alright, so we're going to set that aside because we're going to need it again in a minute. Go ahead and clean this off because heaven only knows I'll be wearing Pear Pizzazz. You'll see me out and you'll be like, you got green on your elbow. Well, yeah, because I set my elbow in the stamp. It's just life with Karen. Alrighty, so we're going to put this one up and we're going to get out Mossy Meadow. Alrighty. Now, I re-inked Mossy Meadow last night, and so it may be juicy. We will see in just a minute. Alrighty. Let's see how this does. Oh, he looks pretty good. One of the things that I absolutely love about Stampin' Up! Is that you can get the re-inkers for every color that's in the current collection. So when our ink colors go out, so at the end of this year, in May, when the new annual catalog goes live, the Cocoa Rose and Terracotta Tile, I keep saying that I'm disconnecting. I'm really hoping that it's not and that I'm staying with you guys, but something weird is going on today that I've never had happen. So anyway, those ink colors will go out, and it will be important if you like that color to make sure you have a re-inker. So if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you want one, I would love to be your demonstrator. I would love to be your creativity coach and help you channel all the lovely creativity you have inside of you. Actually, one of my favorite things is when I go to, or I hold a class, or I go to someone's home and work with them and their friends, and they say, oh, I'm just not creative. I don't have a creative bone in my body. And then we learn to recreate something like this, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I could do that same thing with. Oh, I could do, and so all of a sudden they are creative. We really all are creative. What has happened somewhere along the line is someone has told you that you are not good at it, and that is not the truth. Grabbing my trimmer because I need to trim this down. So one of the things that I like to do is make my paper bigger than the finished size when I'm doing this. That way I'm not tempted to stop at the edges. And if I did by accident stop at an edge, then I'm coming back to trim it out. So this needs to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I'm going to line up with my 4-inch line. Make sure you can see that. For those of you that follow me on Insta, last week or maybe the week before, I did a craft room tour, And by craft room, I mean crafty corner. And by corner, I mean corner of my bedroom. So it is, I have an IKEA desk that is only about 2 or 3 inches wider than the piece of white paper that you're seeing. So I really am in a corner, and it's tiny, and it can be fun and exciting and wonderful, and it also can be a pain in the patootie because it's so tiny. All right, I want to do one last set of stamping before we move on. And I should have done this a minute ago when I had everything out. I want to put a coffee cup on the inside right here. So I'm going to grab back out Early Espresso. Early Espresso is a really dark brown. And so if you're needing not black, and you want the warmth of a brown rather than a gray, Early Espresso is really a beautiful, rich, dark brown. If it were chocolate, it would be dark chocolate. Alrighty. And I think I'm going to do the same thing I did a minute ago, and I'm going to make that cup pear pizzazz. So when I showed my husband these, he immediately said, oh, that's Christmassy. Well, it is. But what if you changed the colors? What if they were blues and grays? So the reason that I went with this color scheme has to do with our next card, and that's because I wanted to use the designer series paper that went with the warm hugs. I think the whole suite's called Heartfelt Hugs, but I know the stamp set is warm hugs, and so I wanted to go with the paper that I showed you guys at the beginning that is the designer series paper for this suite. Alrighty, now let's get out our stamp and seal. I've been working with this. You know, I told you guys when I very first got it that I was just kind of like, I don't know, not real sure. Well, I'm getting better, and I think I may have found the trick. All right, so part of my problem with this is the muscle memory from this. So this is our old Snail Adhesive, which is fabulous. It's just like a Tombow adhesive, and it's been discontinued. Stampin' Up! Has decided that they're going to this. This is actually a stronger adhesive, and I like that a lot. I prefer a stronger adhesive. Here in the South, humidity is an issue, and so a stronger adhesive will keep things together. I've actually fallen in love with the strongest one, which is this one, which is called Stampin' Seal Plus. So it has the dark blue, and this has more of the turquoise ocean blue. Makes me want to go to the Bahamas and be in the tranquility of the ocean. But the Stampin' Seal is really, really strong. It replaces what used to be, if you've known Stampin' Up! For years and years, we used to have an adhesive called Fast Fuse. And Seal Plus is stronger than Fast Fuse. So Seal Plus is actually my go-to, but I am getting much better with this one. So I mentioned a minute ago that the issue is muscle memory. So the way this is designed, you actually hold it at a different angle. So you want to have this bottom part close to the bottom of your paper. So if I'm holding my paper up so that you can see the angle of my paper, I want to roll with my handle close. With the old one, you rolled more like this. Kind of, the point was at a 90 degrees. Well, the point now, you want to be at a 45-degree angle-ish. And so what you're going to do is you're going to pull across. All of those little spider webs are for misuse. You're going to roll it up and check. So really, it's kind of a backwards flick. And so you come across, roll up, and flick. And it breaks it. Because this is that stronger adhesive, it's not breaking as cleanly for people. And then it creates that spider web mess. But when you roll to the top and flick, I think it works better for us. And so for me, it's just muscle memory. I've been crafting so long with Snail that I pick it up and my body does its own thing, which is actually kind of nice. So we're going to roll and flick, roll and flick, flick, which feels awkward, but it actually works. And it doesn't pull the adhesive tape left or right. Alrighty, so we're going to take this, line it up, get it on there even. Alright. Now, in this card, I punched holes, and I used the triple punch. If you don't have it, it's this one. Has a corner rounder and an edge piece and then a hole. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're looking at this and going, oh my, how did you get that to line up? So what I did, to be real honest, is I took a pencil and I came in from the side just a hair and I made a mark. And I came in from this side and I made a mark. Now I'm going to turn this over so I can see through the hole. I'm going to slide this in and look for my mark. And there it is. Now my mark, I want to line up with this line. So I do, and then I press down and push out, and there it is, right up against the edge. Do the same thing, find my mark, line my mark up, and there we go. Woo! My marks are off. It's okay. Alrighty. Now we are going to use some of this ribbon to create this. Now, you could do one of two things. You can loop through here. So come in, loop through, bring this piece all the way across the back. I'll show you. I'm going to use tear and tape. So tear and tape is my go-to when I need to secure ribbon. And here's why. So I'm going to slide this through. We're going to start on the short edge. I'm going to slide this through. I'm pulling him to the back. Oh, you know what I want to do before I do this? I want to get some words on there. Kind of helps if it says I like you a latte. I get ahead of myself. I get excited because I'm sharing new and fun things with you guys. So we're going to take I like you a latte. We're going to stamp it right in the middle. And then I'm going to grab real red, and I'm going to grab this little asterisk looking one. That one's in Nothing Is Better. Grab that. Slide you way out of the way so I don't end up wearing you. Put that on a block. Grab some real red. We're going to add some of these around the outside. It feels like it's twisted. Can you see me? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty. Now we're going to put that up so I don't end up wearing it. Now we're going to take some dimensionals and put them on the back because I want this raised up. I don't want it flat. Alright. Now I'm not pulling the backing off the dimensionals yet because I don't need to. And I'm not quite sure exactly where he's going to go. All right, so the idea is that this is going to sit about right there. And so I want my ribbon to come across here. Secure it in place. Now I'm going to come back across my card to my hole. And now I'm going to cut right there. So now is when I go down to secure this little piece. So get that ready. I'm going to take my edge. I'm going to slide it through. This makes it so much easier than trying to fish it out the back. Just trust me on that. I fished the other one. Get that on the front where I want it. Pull this nice and tight. Flip it over. Grab some tear and tape. And put it across. Okay. Now, since I have ribbon on here, I'm going to use tear and tape to secure this to the front. I could use Seal Plus. Could probably get away with Seal, but I'm going to also use these pieces that I put down to hold the ends of the ribbon to help hold my color on. So I'm going to pull off these pieces. Okay. Now, tear and tape is probably one of the most aggressive adhesives we have. So I need to be really sure where I want this to go before I get it put down, or I will not be getting it back up. Alrighty, here we go. So I'm going to line it up, press it down, and there we go. That is our first card. And I have no idea what time it is because I didn't put my watch on. Alright, so we're going to fly through the second one because I feel like I've been on here talking forever. Ooh. So we're going to slide some of this out of the way. This is our second card. Isn't it adorable? It says, "You are the marshmallows to my cocoa." Alright, so I need, this is a frame out of Hippo and Friends. And we're going to use the same two dies we did earlier. I'm going to grab Early Espresso. I'm going to start by stamping my middle cup. 1, 2, 3. On here from the die cut is where I kind of lined up. Now I'm going to go back and grab those same 3 colors that I did a minute ago, and we're going to do Real Red and Mossy Meadow and Pear Pizzazz. Alrighty. Real Red. Clean this and we'll grab Pear Pizzazz and then Mossy Meadow. Now the reason the stamps stay pink is that photopolymer stains. Doesn't hurt the stamp, doesn't make the stamp unusable. Occasionally I check it to make sure that I've cleaned it appropriately so that I don't have leftover ink from like a red going into a green, because that would make a brown kind of situation happening. Ink that up. Alrighty. Now, I took Early Espresso off camera and I went ahead and stamped him and then cut out this little bitty piece because I knew I would be running out of time. I also took this square of Pear Pizzazz and ran it through with the embossing folder that I showed you at the beginning. So this was really, really fun. Now we're going to be using the Tombow liquid multi-glue. This is what I call green glue. So if you hear me or see me refer to green glue, that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to cut out the word marshmallow. And marshmallow is actually going down first. Now, I have fat fingers, and so I like to use tweezers. Just gives me better control. Just a little Tombow. Doesn't take much. And I'm going to center that right about there. Now I'm going to do To My Cocoa. One of the things that I like about this green glue is it's not something that dries immediately. It does take a second or two to dry, so you can get some movement out of it. Not a whole lot. You're not going to be able to move it forever, but it'll move just the teeniest, tiniest little bit for just a minute. Well, actually, you can lift it completely off, but you only have, just a teeny tiny minute to do that. So now we're going to add the You're My Marshmallow. You're the... You know what? I don't like how wide that looks without the word marshmallow there. So I'm going to actually trim this just a hair. Probably could have done that with cocoa too, but that's okay. Slide this down. Get it where I want it. Look at that. Alrighty. Now we're going to use some more of this red ribbon. We're going to layer some pieces up. Get this out of the way. Alright, so let's start with layering. And I'm going to put a piece of white on the inside. This one on my example card, I did not decorate, meaning that I did not, meaning that I did not stamp anything on the inside. I will need to go back and do that because they are streaky cards, meaning that they're neck inside. So when the kids were little, we didn't say the word naked, we said neck. And I don't know why, and I don't know where it came from. It probably was a Jackson thing, if I'm being real honest. I don't think that word was around when Anna Claire was a baby, although it may have been. Uh-oh, that one got stringy on me. Alrighty, so this is the Designer Series paper. The measurements are in the PDF, so make sure you download that. But I can tell you that this piece is 4 by 5 1/4, and then the Mossy Meadow piece is just 1/8 of an inch bigger. Alright, and so we're going to add this to the center. I love this. These little Swiss dots are just, I think that's what these are called. They're just beautiful. And they just add a little bit of texture without being like totally crazy. Right? Alright. Now, here is the bane of my existence. I like things to be really straight. And, well, you know, I don't necessarily cut the Designer Series paper perfectly straight. So, then we have the issue where it doesn't look straight, and then I'm frustrated, and then it's just a big, huge ordeal. In my world. I mean, for the world, when you look down the stuff, it's... Alright, now we're going to go ahead and add this. I did not put this on to dimensionals because I want to wrap the ribbon around it. Alrighty, so this is, let's see where that goes on here. That goes about right there. And stick it down. Now, I'm going to teach you another trick with ribbon. Today is all about ribbon tricks. You can use the tear and tape again. I know that I want my ribbon to come kind of across the bottom here. So I'm going to put this piece across this side. And this piece across this side. Go ahead and take the backings off. And rather than wrapping my ribbon all the way around the back part of this card a couple of times, we're going to bypass that. And I'm going to show you a super cute and cool trick. Alright, so let's start with the one that goes across. So I know that I want it to come right about there, right? So we're going to attach the end onto our tear and tape. We're going to pull it down at an angle a little bit, not a whole lot, because this one I don't want terribly angled. Now, I could come all the way across, but look at all the ribbon that I've lost that way. So instead, we're going to make a loop right here at the adhesive. All right? So we're just folding it over. And now we're going to come back to this side. We're going to fold and make another loop. And we're going to come back across to this side. And then there's the end. So, oops, those are not my ribbon scissors. Those are my sticky adhesive scissors, and they're not one to cut ribbon. All right, so do you see that? We made these loops, but on the front, it just looks like ribbon was wrapped around. But we didn't waste, you know, a good 2 inches times 3. I mean, that would have been about 6 inches of ribbon that we can use on another card. Hello. Not into wasting supplies. So, that is ribbon trick number 2. So, tear and tape and ribbon. They are friends. They are BFFs. They like to hang out and chill with each other. Now, one thing you can do if you wanted to is because of these folds, there will be a little bit of a lift there. You could put this on dimensionals. Could. Don't have to. For this card, I'm not. Whoops, that didn't go all the way down. Alrighty. So I hope you guys had a great 4th of July. We were just kind of lazy. We went to the lake Friday so that we were not over at the lake. For the holiday. That's just not fun to me with that many boats and that many people. I much prefer to be over there when it's a little bit calmer. And it was a gorgeous day. No, we didn't go Friday. We went Thursday. And it was gorgeous. And then on Saturday for the 4th, we barbecued. We smoked some meat. And I made my famous homemade macaroni and cheese. And it just was kind of a super chill day here at the house. I did some work. I did some crafting. I worked on some stuff for the spot. I worked on some blog hops that I'm part of. I did the samples that I showed you. So it was kind of a really nice, super chill day. And I really like those kind of days. Both of the boys were here. Jackson didn't have to work. And so he just kind of hung out and played video games and whatnot. Alright, so I added some dots to this. These are from a different set that's in the new catalog that's called Coming Home. I think the stamp set's called Coming Home. These are brand new. I know some of them. I don't know all of them. So I'm going to use these dots. These are, I don't know, these are just a feel to them, or plastic feel. I really like them. And so I just put them up here in the corner of my piece. I struggle with dots. I don't know about you, but I love that I need them, but I struggle with them. Alright, so that looks a little different, but it's kind of the same idea. Alright, so there you have it. There are those 2 cards. Here are these 2 cards. Something out of the annual, something out of the new. Thank you so much for joining me today for Makers Monday. The PDF is in the comments already. I got that there first thing this morning. That was my #1 goal when I rolled out of bed. And you have the dimensions for the projects. I would love to talk to you if you would like to be a member of the Glitter Hog family and join our team. If you are needing a demonstrator and are in the United States, I would love to take care of you and help be your crafty coach and bring a little sunshine into your life. So until next week, stay safe. Bye.